It doesn't seem real, but we are just at the beginning of 2024, and I guess most of us are back to work again, whether we feel lazy or not. I would like to walk you through the condo market in downtown Toronto, and for those who are interested in buying or selling in the heart of downtown, this might be a video that you don't want to miss. Welcome back. I'm Antonio, a local real estate agent in the GTA. Happy New Year again. And if you have any sort of inquiries or general questions about real estate, don't hesitate to book a call with me using the first link in the description. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content I put out every single week. I'm currently helping a client look for a condo apartment in downtown Toronto. The location is important since he would like to be close to his job, which is located in the financial district. If you are interested in purchasing a condo in downtown Toronto, you most likely fall under the four types of buyers. Either you are an investor, a first-time home buyer, a downsizer, or a luxury condo buyer. I will walk you through the analysis as a first-time home buyer in the core of downtown Toronto and find out what the lowest price point is at which you can enter the market since my client is a first-time home buyer. Let's take this opportunity and go through the average prices of condos in the city of Toronto. When I describe Toronto, I don't mean the entire GTA, but just the city of Toronto that you see here, which does not include other regions such as York, Peel, Durham, and Halton. In this table, let's look at 2023 first. If you have been following me on this channel, you have probably heard me say quite often about the roller coaster year we had in 2023, and that was no exception for the condo market in Toronto. Bear in mind that this average prices include all condos, either 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms units. In January, it started at $711,171, and it gradually increased because of the rate hold. It went on for a few months and peaked in May at $784,914. The prices started to trend down in June to $770,423 due to a rate hike. And there was another rate hike again in July when they dropped to $753,520. Basically, it kept trending down the rest of the year, although the Bank of Canada held the rate in September, but it never recovered. The most recent December average price for condos was $709,283. The year started at $711,171 and almost canceled all the price increases during the year, coming back down to $709,283 and practically went the same price when the year started. That sums up the condo average prices in Toronto. If you take a look at the average prices for condo in 2022, it is also an unusual year due to the famous rate hike. Basically, before the rate hike, the average price went as high as $831,351 in March of 2022, but it came down all the way to $741,584 by the end of the year. Probably we can call 2021 somewhat a normal year. It started at $624,886 in January and gradually rose to $730,792 by the end of 2021. I meant normal because it didn't have the rate hike and was just after the pandemic. Obviously, 2020 was the pandemic year and was on lockdown. Condo prices in the downtown core were one of the asset class that were affected the most. It started with $624,886 and peaked at $722,675 in February, then came down to $625,828 by the end of 2020. Again, another unusual year. I compiled the past 4 years and feel free to pause the video if you wish to explore. When we talk about downtown condos, the largest density and most concentrated condos are located in the C01 and C08 area, which are just south of Bloor and north of the waterfront, east of Dufferin and west of Don Valley. In this section, you could also find many condo apartments with investors in mind. The starting price could be as low as 400s if the building is old, but it could also start at 500s for newer buildings, but in return, you get a much smaller place. However, that is the trend toward downtown as long as it yields a good return for investors. Let's see what the entry prices are for a 1-bedroom in the C01 and C08 area. This is the list of all the 1-bedrooms in the past 15 days. When speaking of a condo, we always refer to the price per square foot to determine its value. For example, let's take the most recent sale here at 150 Sudbury Street, Unit 1805. The key here is to see how big the unit is. Most of the time when listing like this, they only give you the range size. In this case, it is between 0 to 400 square feet. According to Condo.ca, the average price per square foot is roughly about 984, and the building is about 11 years old. This unit was listed for $399,000 and sold for $460,000 after 15 days on the market. Depending on what perspective you are looking at, it can be said that it is so over asking, but in reality, the sellers never expected $399,000, but rather closer to $460,000 since the average price per square foot was $984. Now let's take a look at another recent sale in January as a comparison for 7 Greenville Unit 5510. This is a 1-bedroom unit located near Yonge and College in the Bay Corridor of Toronto. This is considered a new building by Kennerall Residential, which was completed about 4 years ago. According to condos.ca, it is currently selling for approximately $1,355 per square feet. Right away, if you compare the previous unit at 150 Sudbury, Unit 1805, around 984 per square feet, you can tell a different location and the price per square foot could jump quite a bit. For this particular unit, it was sold for $748,000 and was on the market for 88 days. You can tell it wasn't easy to sell. If you take a look at the history for 7 Greenville Unit 5510, it was listed dated October 9 of 2023 last year at $799,770, and there was a price reduction during November last year to $778,000, which eventually sold at $748,000. According to the listing, the unit was listed at 514 square feet plus 320 square feet of balcony space, which is approximately $1,455 per square feet. This unit sold for around 6.5% down from the original listed price dated back in October. Next, we can take a look at 125 Western Barrie Road, Unit 3008. This is also a recent sale on the same date in January 5th of 2024. As you can see, this is a unit that is potentially 100 square feet more than the previous one between 500 and 599. But according to Condo.ca, it is currently roughly selling for about $1,033 per square feet, which is a little more than 150 Sudbury Street, Unit 1805, and being a year newer building. Eventually, this unit was listed at $549,900 and sold for $556,000. Let's look at another 1-bedroom unit at 68 Shooter Street, Unit 1802, for another example that was sold in January as well. The location is in Church Yonge Corridor, where the financial hub is, and it is built by a popular developer in Center Court and called the Core Condos. It is a fairly new building that was completed about 7 years ago, and according to condos.ca, it is selling for approximately $1,125 per square foot. No surprise, this unit also took pretty long to sell, at about 50 days on the market. It was listed at $599,000 and sold for $575,000 for a slight dip of 4%. The square footage of the unit is between 500 and 599 square feet, so we could say it is roughly about $1,045 per square feet for this particular unit. Let's move on to another unit that was most recently sold, but this time it is a 3-bedroom unit, Church Yonge Corridor at 155 Dalhousie Street, Unit 1017. What would the price per square foot be? Let's find out. This is a massive unit with 1,615 square feet. However, this is also a relatively older loft building that was built about 24 years ago, which was the former Simpson department store warehouse. Later, the Simpson Sears. The merchandise loft are steeped in history. Due to the age of the building, it is selling for approximately $847 per square foot. This unit at 1017 was sold for $1,125,000 in a decent 33 days on the market, and it comes with a high maintenance cost as well at $1,440. Sometimes the location, depending on the buyer, is proof that there is still a market for it. Now let's take a look at another 2+1 unit that is a relatively newer building that was completed about 3 years ago in 19 Western Battery Road, Unit 2209. It was listed for $709,000 and sold for $698,000, a slight dip of 1.5% from the listing price in just 22 days on the market. According to condos.ca, on average for the past 365 days, the price per square feet for this building is about $1,220. For this particular unit, it is listed between 700 to 799 square feet. Even if we assume the size is 799 square feet, it is sold for only $873.59, which I think it is a pretty good deal. Now let's take a look at the most recent luxury condo that was sold in this C01 waterfront community at 183 Wellington Street West, Unit 4901. This was listed for a whopping $7,500,000 and eventually sold for $6,750,000 after 101 days on the market and a significant price reduction of about 10%. Obviously, this is a luxury sale transaction that doesn't happen often, but in the month of January of 2024, we saw 2 that were sold in the same month. The other one is Unit 3804 in the same building. But let's stick to this unit at 4901 and see what the actual price per square foot was. According to the listing, it is listed at 2,590 square feet, which means it is sold roughly at 2,606 per square foot, which is a lot higher than what condos.ca stated for the past 365 days at 1,443 per square foot. And this building is only 12 years old by Greywood Developments. I guess I can give you a summary of the most recent condos that were sold in C01 and C08 right here. You can go from $460,000 to, as luxury as it is in the luxury condo, up to $7 million. Really, there is a wide range of products in the core of downtown Toronto. I hope now you can have an idea of the condo market in this specific area. And if you are interested in taking a look, don't hesitate to book a call with me using the first link in the description below. Okay, I'll end the video here. If you'd like me to cover other areas that you may be interested in, comment down below and I'll try to make the walkthrough for you. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next video.